Some trails test your legs, others test your resolve. The Black Forest Trail does both. After years of saying one day, this was finally the year. 44 rugged miles and over 9,000 feet of climbing, wrapped in mid-October color. Subtle this season because of the drought, but still an incredible setting for a trip like this. My buddy Bob joined me for this 3-day trek, and the Black Forest didn't hold anything back. Here's how it went.
That's interesting. Be a good place to escape from a storm. Naval Run Canyon. That's pretty. The trail goes right through this guy's driveway. Not too shabby. We're heading right up there. That's where we're camping tonight. Just getting some water filtered here at Callahan Run. This is called Callahan Run, right? Yeah. Down here in a deep hollow right now. And no cell service, but good water. Pretty nice campsite here. So we got to head back up to our campsite. So we're cameling up on water. And this is the only capacity I brought. Hopefully I can get through the night with that. We're about 2.5 miles from camp, and Bob just informed me that the next 1.5 miles is 1,000 feet of elevation gain. So I'm gonna feel it because I'm not in good shape. And this will help Bob get in shape for his next FKT. About 1/3 of the way up this beast. It's not too bad. I'm definitely feeling it though. Just another day in the office for Bob back there. Man, that's pretty. This kind of reminds me of the Quihana and the Susquehannock. We found camp with a view. Man, it doesn't get much better than that in PA. That is spectacular. Here's the campsite with split firewood. Yes. All right, camp is all set up. This is the Z-Packs Duplex in camo. I've had it for probably 6 years now, maybe 7. And inside I have the Nemo Tensor air pad, a UGQ Bandit top quilt, 20 degree, and a Nemo Philo pillow. Check out the view at this campsite. This is spectacular. The PA Grand Canyon. Beautiful. That is Pine Creek running through there. And I think Bob said this way is the West Rim Trail, right? That's right. We're gonna try to take the drone up here in a little bit. It's just a little breezy out right now. And we still got a fair amount of daylight left. All right, here's Bob's setup.
Got to watch out for all the guy lines. And
yeah. This looks like the same tarp I have.
It's hammock gear hex tarp.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's mine's not the hex tarp. Mine's the one with doors.
Yeah, no doors. Yeah.
Okay. What's that weigh? Like 6, 8 ounces?
Yeah,
5.5. Okay.
Yeah. Without all the guy lines and everything.
Right. And your little bivvy.
Yep.
So you got something else on top of your bivvy. So is this like an extra little rain fly?
Yeah, so this is, it's like a breathable with a DWR. It's just nylon fabric, and it just snaps on with like these little camp snacks.
Okay, cool.
Adds a little bit of, in the winter, adds a little bit of protection.
And which bivvy is this?
This is a one of a kind.
Oh.
Sewed this myself. Yeah, so added the top, and the top you can snap it on and off with the,
I like that. That's cool.
So when I do my FKTs, I just bring this bivvy. I don't put the top part.
It looks very similar to my Mountain Laurel designs.
So all of my stuff is pretty much copied from stuff that's out there. So yeah, it's like the same as a Mountain Laurel. Who else? There's a couple companies that make them.
Okay. And which
Hyperlight makes one that's similar.
Okay. And the pad and quilt, what is that?
Pad is Outdoor Vitals, like a older version.
Okay.
And then the quilt is also a one of a kind, sewed myself.
Man.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to start your own gear company, it sounds like.
It gets me by. It's not the prettiest looking stuff, but it does it. Yeah.
Yeah, good deal. On tonight's menu, Pinnacle Foods, Chipotle Beef Burrito Bowl. What do you got, Bob?
There we go. Buffalo mac and cheese.
Oh, okay. What was the other one you were showing me, though? That looked good, too.
Beef bulgogi. Kimchi.
Ready Wise Pro Venture Meal. All right. We are on the move, day 2 here on the Black Forest Trail. Only about a half-mile in, working our way down off of this mountain where our campsite was. We got a big day today. We're shooting for 20 miles, and that should set us up pretty nice for tomorrow of around 14-ish. We got rain moving in tonight, so that's one of the reasons we want to put in a big day today. Get as much of this trail as we can knocked out, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna be hiking in the rain for most of the day tomorrow. There's our camp right up there on top of that peak, and the cloud cover is still down there. It almost looks like a white lake. So I imagine that's what it would look like if it was dammed off and filled with water. But we were down below that when we came down off our hill. Way down in there, got water, and then we've been climbing for the last mile. Beautiful. We're basically just getting started for the day. We're just about 3 miles in, and it feels good to finally be on top of this hill. That was a behemoth. This is the other side. It goes as far as the eye can see. Just cruising down this easy grassy path up on top of the ridge. Well, we're going down about a mile deep into this hollow, draft, whatever you want to call it. And the ferns are beautiful through here. Most of them have been dead throughout the trail so far, but not here. A lot of green, and you can see the leaf color is just starting to change. I was expecting full color, but they're definitely not there yet. But I have a feeling this year, because of the dry weather, a lot of them are just going to kind of turn brown and fall. I mean, there is a lot of leaves on the ground. Not a lot of vibrant color this year. Did I just get off trail? I get my camera out, I walk right off trail. Rocksylvania. A lot of nice campsites like this right on the creek. This reminds me a little bit of the high country pathway in Michigan. That was what I did last fall. That was an awesome 80-some mile backpacking trip. If you're interested in seeing the high country pathway, Michigan's largest backpacking loop, at least in the lower peninsula. Peninsula? I'll put the link down in the description box. Getting into some pines now. This is really pretty. Nice soft trail bed. It captures the scope of what we're hiking in when I have someone hiking in front of me. Up and down through these drafts. Taking a 1-minute break here at this little pond. It's kind of pretty. Just climbed up out of this draft. Probably about a half-mile climb. At least it felt like it. Wearing me out. We just hit mile 10 and we got 3 more miles. All down a hill to a deli. Lunchtime. Looks like a little hunt camp. Foster Hollow Camp. What a view. Oh, that's nice. And I'm noticing that it's clouding up quite a bit. We're getting ready to go walk across the top of that and then going down to camp over there. Still got 9 miles to go, so got a big chunk of mileage ahead of us yet. We're heading up there. We're still heading down. We're only halfway down. We're gonna be heading down and then coming up part of the gradual side of it over there and then going across the top. I gotta admit, I'm kind of hurting. Here we are 11 miles in, and I kid you not, it feels exactly like I would normally feel at mile 30, if not 35 or 40. That's how out of shape I am. You know, I haven't done any backpacking since January on the Florida Trail, and that was basically flat. So this is a butt kicker for me. We got to get to 20 miles. I mean, that's where our planned campsite is, and that'll leave 14 miles for tomorrow. I don't want more than 14 miles for tomorrow in the rain, so we got to get to mile 20 today. That's my goal, and it's not going to be easy for me, but we'll get there. Hopefully before the rain moves in around 6 o'clock, I think. We're hoping to be at camp around 4 to 4:30. Now we got a little road walk down to Slate Run. Some pretty little cabins here. There's a deli down here that we're going to stop and have lunch at. A nice looking village here right on Slate Run. BFT reroute. Huh, look at this. Is this, we gotta come back to this, okay. So we're gonna go eat at the deli over there somewhere, and then we'll come back over here to head up to the mountain top. Got some fly fishermen down there. I definitely need to learn how to do that. There's another look at the mountain we're getting ready to climb up. Right there. Wolf's General Store, Slate Run tackle. All right, here's everything I picked up inside the general store. A pretty hefty deli sandwich. It feels every bit as big as a foot-long Subway sandwich. Some vanilla cream soda, a chocolate milk, and salt and vinegar chips. So it's currently 2:15, and I wish I was done for the day. We still got 6 miles to go. So I'm hoping after eating this, I'll be re-energized and ready to tackle this mountain. It's like a 2.5 mile walk up this 1,000 or 1,200, maybe 1,300 feet of gain, and then we'll be on a ridge top down to our campsite. So yeah, 6 miles to go. We should get there by 5 o'clock, so not too bad. All right, let's eat. Really nice looking sandwich. And I got Lebanon bologna. I guess it's a Pennsylvania Dutch thing. I've never heard of it, but it's good. I got the works on mine. Me and Bob's sandwiches are pretty much the same thing. Except with, what is that, Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, Dr. Pepper.
All right, back to it. Ready to tackle this massive climb. That ended up being a really late lunch. We thought we were gonna be there like around 1:30, but I think it was closer to 2:30. Well, my belly's full, and I'm about as ready as I'm ever gonna be to tackle this big climb. 6 miles to camp. My heart rate has been like 162 on this climb. We're just getting started. This is not fun. It's gradual now, but you just can't see the end. It just goes and goes. All right, we made it up to the top, almost to the top of about 1,000-foot climb so far. And there's a nice campsite here. It's a dry site though. There is a spring coming up here very soon. We only have about 360 feet of elevation gain left. And then it'll be downhill into our campsite. Man, just when I thought the worst was over, this last 360 feet is no joke. We're making our final push into camp. Got just over a mile left, but we just hit 20 for the day. Not too shabby. We're getting ready to descend down to the creek. It's 5 o'clock. A beautiful view to end the day with. Anybody need a pillow? All right, we finally made it to camp. 4 campsites later that we had to pass up because they were taken. 21.58 miles. Coming up on 6 o'clock. I'm bushed. Nice fire pit. And the other campsites were right on the water back that way, but this one's about 10, 20 yards away. Not too bad. You can still hear it. Bob's gonna set up right there with his bivvy and tarp. I'm going right there. Unfortunately, I was too tired when I arrived to camp to remember to film my tent setup, cooking my peak refuel beef stroganoff, starting the fire. That's all right. That's what's been happening. It's about 7 p.m. so we're going to eat and probably turn in. We've actually had some rain, little, what, 3 times now, Bob?
Yeah, I think
3 little sprinkles of rain come through that actually sent us to our tent, and it would last like 5 minutes and then we would come back out. You have got to be kidding me. I literally just turned the camera off. I was getting ready to dig into my peak refuel, and here comes the rain again. Back to the tent. It's 7:40 a.m. having coffee and breakfast, and Bob's breaking down camp. I just finished breaking mine down, and we'll be getting back on the trail here in about 20-30 minutes. Finish up this 14 miles back to the vehicles. So it rained last night for a couple hours, around 3:30 to 5:30, something like that. But everything was dry here this morning, and didn't really have to hardly wipe my tent down at all. And you can see the dry spot there where I was set up.
Yeah, I was listening to another FKT podcast last night, and the person, they asked Heather Anderson, asked her what she was like, what did you consume for food on the trail? She said maple syrup. I was just drinking maple syrup.
I've heard that's good. They actually sell little maple syrup packets. Kind of looks like a replacement for a gel or something. All right, here we go. Time to finish up this trail. Heading out of camp for this final 14 miles. And it looks like the rain's gonna hold off. Happy about that. Well, I guess we don't have a way to check the radar because we don't have a signal down here, but I'm seeing some blue sky, so I'm hopeful we won't get rained on here in the next 14 miles. We'll probably get off the trail around 2:33 p.m. So we'll be out here a while, but whatever rain they were forecasting looks like it's gonna miss us. Yeah, I see some blue sky up there. All right. Wow, what a beautiful area. It's almost like a little swimming hole. Got ourselves a little footbridge here to get across. And I bet it's slick. Another look at Slate Run. Beautiful vista here. I'm not sure if we were camping down there or way down there. It's hard to tell. So we've went up about 300 feet. We're getting ready to turn right up here and head up this mountain another 500 or 600 feet. Really green through here. A lot of mountain laurel. No rhododendron. We did see some yesterday though. So some of you who follow me regularly on all my backpacking and kayaking trips probably wondering who Bob Stewart is. So he is an FKT extraordinaire. FKT is an acronym for fastest known time. I actually met Bob, well, I didn't meet him in person. I haven't met him in person until just yesterday, or day before yesterday. But 5 years ago, I think it was 2020, when I did my fastest known time on the Susquehannock Trail. He held the, was it the self-supported?
Self-supported, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was originally an unsupported, but it had to get, he made one little mistake with water or something and had to change it to a self-supported. So I was going after Bob's time and I was able to beat it. That FKT has since been beaten Someone took another 6 or 7 hours off my time. Anyway, I've known Bob for probably 5 years now, and we've been texting back and forth all about fastest known time stuff. So it's kind of cool to finally get to hike with him. And he's in the middle of training for another FKT. You want to talk about that real quick? Yeah. Which one's coming up?
I was planning on taking it easy the rest of the year, but I got an itch for another adventure, so I'm thinking about doing the Pinhoti Trail in late November. I got a small window.
Yeah.
See if I can squeeze it in. I already booked my flight, so I have a start and end date when I got to finish by. So.
And I'm really happy to hear that he's going for the Pinhoti. The unsupported time was just set, maybe in the spring, over summer. It wasn't that long ago.
I believe so, yeah.
And we both feel it's a little bit on the soft side. It's about 8 days something. Bob's going to not only crush that one if everything goes according to plan, he will also be taking down the self-supported time, which is what?
Was it, I think 6.5 days maybe?
Yeah, something like that. So. Held by Willie Thacker, I believe. Right? Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, Willie Thacker. He took it on probably 2 or 3 years ago, maybe, after he got off the PCT. So he set a pretty decently stout self-supported time. So Bob is going to go for that time, even though he's going unsupported. But if that plan falls through because of weather issues, he is going to go back for a third attempt on the BMT, the Benton Mackay Trail, which is about 290 miles, right?
290, yeah.
So he's gotten really close to finishing that one 2 times now. Torn calf muscle took him off of that one last year. So he's got some unfinished business there, but I'm kind of hoping he goes for the Pinhoti. That'll be a good one. So Bob holds a few very notable FKTs. His first real big one was the Mid-State Trail, right?
That's right.
That's right here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
330?
327.
327.
Yep.
So he did that one just a shade under 7 days. Yep. He has the Superior Hiking Trail, 310, I always forget.
That's right.
310 miles, that's up in Minnesota from the Canadian border to Duluth, or even beyond Duluth, right?
Yeah, 30 miles south of Duluth.
Okay, yeah, he just got that one, back in June.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really tough one because you beat the guy by less than 2 hours.
That's right.
That held it previously. So what's the time on that FKT?
5 days, 10 hours,
okay.
12 hours, something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive going unsupported. And then you have a couple others. Yeah. What's some of the other ones I'm missing?
I have the Tuscarora Trail, which goes from Shenandoah National Park up to the AT in Pennsylvania. I've got the Pennsylvania section of the Appalachian Trail. I've got the Mason-Dixon Trail, which goes from Pennsylvania down to Maryland, back into Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. I think that's it.
Okay.
Some smaller ones that were first known times, but those are my big ones.
Yeah, first known times. That's what I was a specialist at, the first known time. that low-hanging fruit. Yep. But my FKTs are over. Those of you who are thinking, oh, Jason's getting ready for another FKT. Nope, not a chance. But Bob has a lot left in him. He's got many FKTs ahead of him. And he's quite the ultra runner too. So I can definitely say that I have more than met my match when it comes to backpacking up hills. I mean, this guy flies up these mountains like nothing. It's just another day at work for him, and he's not even huffing and puffing. I'm like shuffling and breathing hard like I'm summiting Mount Everest or something. I'm so out of shape now. So it's been fun hiking with someone that's in better shape than me and much faster than me. All right, we are on our final 8.5 miles, and it has turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous day. Perfect day to be hiking in Pennsylvania. So I was just reminiscing about my my A100, the Allegheny 100-mile challenge that I did in June of 23, and I failed. I think I bailed at mile 86. My quads were just killing me, and I was sick, and I went back for it again on my own as an FKT, and I bailed at mile 83. So I have unfinished business there, but I will not be going back to do it as an FKT or even probably the A100 challenge. But that 100 miles is tame compared to the Eastern States, which we've been on a lot of the Eastern States course, the 100-mile ultramarathon. Bob's done it twice now. The first time, let me guess, I think it was 27 hours something, right?
First time was 29.
29 hours, so we broke the 30-hour barrier, which is what I was going for on the A100. I really wanted to break 30 hours. But then we came back into the eastern states again in 27 hours. So yeah, that's probably one of the toughest ultras in the on the East Coast. At least that's what I've heard. It's a lot of elevation gain on that one.
Yep.
Wow, I could live there. That is perfect. On the menu today for lunch, Rec Pack. This is the coffee flavored. One complete meal, 700 calories, and it weighs 5.9 ounces. So it's just a dry powder in there. I'm not gonna go through all the ingredients, but there's some good stuff in there. You just fill it with water, shake it, and drink on the go. Which way's the trail? I left my trekking poles back there and Bob was testing me to see if I'd remember them. I get to filming and talking about stuff and I walk away and forget my poles. This might be my favorite section of the trail and this whole thing. Partly because it's easy, it's flat and soft, but I love the pines. The wind whipping through the pines, sometimes it almost sounds like a road. We've been passing several epic campsites in the pines like that one. Another amazing campsite right here in the pines. Lots of places for hammocks and for tents. We have been crossing this county line branch over and over, probably 6 or 7 times already. Fortunately, the water's not too high. Well, we just made it to the top of our final climb and we were rewarded with a beautiful view. All right, just a few more miles to go. We just popped out into this open area and I was telling Bob, it kind of reminds me of the Quahana. Huh, there's a little body of water over there. I don't know if that's a stream or just a little swamp. The breeze feels really nice. It's drying my back off. I was really sweating on that last climb. That was brutal. But lovely temperatures today. Look what we just stumbled upon. Holy moly. I thought it was a black snake when I first looked down. Alrighty folks, that's a wrap on the Black Forest Trail. We just finished the loop and we're on this little half-mile connector back to the vehicles. I always enjoy hiking in the PA wilds, but I gotta tell you, I think this might have been the hardest backpacking trip I've ever done in my life. A special thanks to Bob Stewart for joining me, driving up from Philly. Had a great time hanging out with him. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all again next time on my next outdoor adventure.